Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me a video where somebody's created a pattern similar to this, and they just can't quite get it down what he's doing. And he does. I am going to make life a little bit easier for the person. I'm going to draw and I'll show you the step in just a second that I'm going to eliminate that the gentleman does. It doesn't matter what side arrow you make up here. Probably about right in there. I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool and fill in that shape, and that's going to give us a new shape. Now we can move all that stuff out of the way and hit delete. We're going to rotate this, and I am going to use the Docker for rotation, Docker transform, and I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees 5 times, and you get that. Now what you need to do, these are individual broken parts. So we're just going to kind of separate them out, and we're going to put this one right there. We're going to put this one, and it doesn't matter what node you grab, but the gentleman that makes the video, Interactive Fill Tools at first. And then by doing that, and then it's harder to snap to when it's a interactive fill tool. So we're going to Control G to group that, and I'm going to hit P and put it in the center of the page. I'm going to bring in my indexing lines, and I've hit P. Now I can go up to Object and ungroup this. And now I can delete. I'm not going to delete them. I'm just going to move them out of the way. Well, let's change our nudge factor bigger than that, like 6 inches. And let's get them out of the way, and it does kind of make a weird shape, as you'll see. I didn't quite get them out of the way far enough, but that's a pretty unique shape in itself. But now, this is where I'm going to interactive fill tool it now, because it's really hard to snap to, and I'm going to change up the color of this one a little bit and just kind of see what it's going to look like. Now we can rotate it off the center. And like I said before, it's real hard to snap an interactive fill tool, or not really hard, it's just harder. And we've done it. We've got our object. It's similar to that, but I use black or blue this time. Control G to group it, and I'm going to make one direction with my ratio lock, something that's easy to multiply, so 2 inches. Then I'm going to set my nudge factor on 2 inches. I'm going to get rid of my indexing lines now, and I'm going to Control D and use the right arrow key, and then Control D, Control D, Control D. I'm going to go ahead and group that together, and then make a duplicate, and then grab one of the corners. And see, this is where the interactive fill tool is going to mess you up a little bit, but it worked. Control D, well, instead of Control D in that, I find it easier. Let's just make sure we have one copy of each. I can take both these and Control D, and then at that time, you can actually come straight down instead of going off at an angle. And because you did it on one move, you can do that. And if you look at the pattern really closely, and from a distance, the light blue, I wish I would have made it a white. Let me back up here and make that white. Just see what it looks like. You get the idea. But anyway, the point I was trying to make is go ahead and do this and then rotate it around. I'm going to bring my indexing lines back. Let's get the interactive fill tool back, and let's put a white here. Maybe that'll make it stand out a little bit more. No, you know what? I'm going to put a black. I'm going to go ahead and do black. So it's black and white. I don't know why that doesn't look white. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's take a black box, go up to Object, Order, back a page. See, it just doesn't look white. Let me see if I can. There we go. There we go. So that's kind of what we want, I think. There we go. It does. Now I can rotate that by double clicking on it, moving the rotation from that corner to the corner of the center of the page. I don't know if this is going to look any better or worse. I'm going to I did Control D first. Control G to group, Control D to dupe. Well, I don't even want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that because I need to change this to 2 inches or something, even amount. Our nudge factor set on 2, or will be. Control D and duplicate it. And then group this together, Control G, Control D to duplicate it. And if you hit it on the first mark the first time, you can keep Control D in, but this is extra hard because the interactive fill tool. So we're just going to Control D that, and hopefully I'll get it this time the first try. And I did, so I can Control D, Control D. Now, if you look at it, look at the white part from a distance. You're not even seeing the rotation. I'm seeing these white, almost square butterfly looking things. Now to get it into a shape, I'm going to Control G to group it, hit the P. Now what we can do is hold down the Shift key and double click our rectangle tool. It'll put a rectangle around it. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and just bring it in. That brings it in equally. Now I can select it all and go up here to intersect, and voila, you have a pattern that looks pretty unusual. I mean, the six-sided empty polygon is there for a reason, and you could do a lot. Let's shift select that, or hold down the Shift button and double click on and you put a box around it, and then we'll make the box black. Go up to Object, forward or back a page, and now you can't see that white box, but it makes, from a distance, it makes those butterfly, they're not really butterflies, but they look like the back end of an envelope, the closed part of an envelope. And you could make that any color you wanted. You could make it green, white. Well, that's what the color it is. Red, because we're already back. Anyway, I hope that answered their question, and thank you for watching.